Five Figure here, and welcome back to the channel as we unbox another Neca Real Toys figure, and it is a Jason Voorhees from the Freddy vs. Jason film. Now, as you all know, I am a huge fan of the Friday the 13th franchise. I love all of them, even the ones that were crappy. Being a true fan, you know, that's what you do. You enjoy a whole series. You might not like them all, but hey, you have to give credit to the movie being one of the most successful horror movie franchises that there is. And this particular movie came out in 2003, which is the same year that I moved to Florida. So I moved to Florida in the summer of 2003, and I ended up seeing this movie. I think it came out in October, you know, more close to like Halloween or so. When I first saw this movie, which I was very excited to finally see him back, and was very curious at the time of how it was going to work out having Freddy and Jason in a movie, considering Freddy was in the dreams and Jason was in Crystal Lake. You know, at this point he was already a zombie. They have tried to kill him multiple times and he just kept coming back to life. And then we also have that weird Jason X movie where he was in space, could kind of throw it back into the future. But I think they did that just to keep the franchise going. I don't know, just so he wouldn't die right away, I guess, or you know, I never hear from it again. Because they did do that final chapter, part 9 was. Part 8 actually didn't do it any justice either, when he went to New York, when he took Manhattan. And then they did part 9, and you know, where I guess they kept eating like his heart or something. It just went from like body to body. Everybody would assume the role of Jason. It was just a weird movie. At the end of that film, though, after, you know, the army surrounds him and blows him into pieces and shoot the hell out of him, and his mask is out in the ground, and from beyond the ground, beyond hell itself, Freddy's hand in his glove with the knives comes up, snatches the mask, the hockey mask, and takes him down. Now, again, I was very skeptical of how this movie was going to play out initially, but considering what they did and how the story worked out with the, you know, sleep and Jason actually sleeping, and so Freddy can get to him, and you know, it was all right. I mean, it was good. The action sequence in Crystal Lake were great. I enjoyed the fight. It could have been a little bit more action, but I enjoyed the fight. And the ending, of course, led people to the imagination of who really won that battle, because you know, Jason was still walking. He was missing an arm or whatever, and Freddy's head came alive. So anyway, that was a quick recap of the movie. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's a good view. It's a good view. And as always, as we do here on the channel, now it's time to unbox this figure, and I will be right back. All right, now that the figure is out of the box, we'll quickly go over the accessories. And as always, Neca does really good when it comes to accessories and their horror film and their horror characters and horror films, whatever. They do a really good job, and they supply just the right amount. And again, for the price, I know, I mean, back in the day, they were a little bit under 30 bucks or around that range. Now they're about 35 bucks, 39, depending on who the figure or how, you know, whatever the movie, I guess, is. So they've gone up in price, but they still maintain the same selection in as far as accessories. And they try to bring, you know, or fill the necessary accessories that pertain to every movie, which is cool. Now, this one here, of course, he comes with a teddy bear. So Jason did have a teddy bear in the movie that he was dragging around, I guess. And as you can see, he's got like the insides coming out of there and the details on there. Over on the head, it'd be nice if they would have had like a missing eye. I think that, but yeah, it's a nice little prop teddy bear there that he can use. Doesn't really have any articulation, obviously. It's a teddy bear, so it's a plush toy, but it's really good. The details on it, the feel, it looks really good. It's a very sturdy rubber that they use for this, and I like how they did the inside here, the joints there, and make it look like one of those flappy teddy bears. Yeah, you know, that they are easy to move up and down, and they did a good job. And again, the details of the plush coming from the inside and stuff, it's incredible. And the details of the bear itself, as you can see, it's very well done. Now, he does come with a couple of machetes. He has the clean machete. You can see it's pretty worn. It's all bent into the knife. I guess he must have hit some wood there or something, maybe to stop somebody's head. And then the handle, the details on it, nicely painted. Does look good when you detail weapons with, you know, different tones, different shades. They stand out a little bit better than just one color flat. And then you get the bloody one. with the blood in it, which is pretty cool. And again, it's the same one, just with a different shape. Now, these are a lot smaller than the one we got with the here, with the remake. That machete there is a lot longer. This one here is a lot more what I'm used to with the Neca figures from Jason. They're about the right size there. And then, of course, you do get the fire effect from that cabin scene when they were able to pull Freddy into like the real world, not the dream sequence. And then, you know, he put the fire, and that was pretty good. That was a good scene. That's where the fight really started. And then he's got the fire there. That's actually pretty good. And you can see, you can actually, it's good for this, but I like it with the blood on it because, you know, you got the fire, you got the blood, and it looks good. That looks really good. So nice effect that we got with it. And of course, the iconic hockey mask, and we do have several. We do have the regular one here. The nice clean one. I mean, not clean, but the no damage one. We'll go with the no damage one. As you can see, it's in his share of dirt. And then, of course, we get the one where Freddy's claws, or you have, you know, the knives, scrape the mask during their fight. As you can see, it's got all these details there. And it's a lot darker too. It's getting that little darker there. And then, of course, the bloody one where he was, Freddy was basically almost killing him, and the blood was coming out, and you know, looks like bloody mess. That looks really cool. That looks good. And of course, all the straps are rubbery, but they're nice, ply bendable, very gummy material, and they look like they're very in place. So I don't think they'll come out easily. I'm sure they will come out, but they're very steady, and they all got little pegs in there holding them in place. Now, on to Jason himself. Now, this, and I've owned several Jasons before. I did get rid of them, and now I'm just picking up a few of my favorite ones back to add it to the collection. This one's by far the heaviest Jason that I've had, that I've ever felt with, or ever played with, or ever handled, basically. They really put some weight on it. He kind of looks like a Frankenstein. He looks like Robert De Niro's from that Frankenstein remake they did several years ago, a lot of years ago. He's got that gray look, that zombie look. Actually, he's a little tall, so I am just, because I am going to be handling him, just going to raise the camera up a little bit. But he's got that Robert De Niro makeup that they used for that Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's actually a pretty good movie, too. That Robert De Niro was the monster. But yeah, he's got like that zombie color skin. The face, they a little disappointed that the eye wasn't far down. The right, like the left eye, was it the right eye? Yeah, the right eye wasn't the left eye. Was not as far as it was supposed to be. Actually, the right eye. Yeah, the right eye is my left, your the actual right. But this eye is technically supposed to be like down here in all his movies. And here's that one there, as you can see. They made it a little bit like more like up there, like he doesn't have much. And then when you look at even the remake movie, kind of dropped the eye a little bit. I mean, it's up there, but you can see it's a little bit dropped because it's all deformed, basically, is what it is. Let's keep that there. But yeah, I thought this figure, because I hadn't, you know, really got my hands on it. I don't remember much of the other ones, but I thought this was by far one of the biggest and heaviest, but this one kind of beat it. And it's taller, too. I mean, look at the size of that. I thought this remake was, let me lower this down. I thought the remake one was big. Even in film, he just looked big. But I didn't realize that this guy, his name was Ken Kessinger, I think it was, a stuntman from Canada. He just dwarfs this one. So this is going to be an interesting setup on the shelves, because I had no idea that he was actually that big. And I think Neca tried to pretty much scale it as big. Now, granted, he's got the Herman Monster boots with the lifts. I mean, that's some big lifts. So, uh, and I think in the movie he had them. They were just like that too. I thought that maybe the shirt or the jacket was a little longer in the movie. I think it was. I think it was almost like that one, not as long as the one from here, but I think it was a little bit longer. This one here, it's not as long as I thought it should be. The shirt, as you can see, they did a good job. It's all like all rotted out and dirty, and Jason was brought back to life. He was already decayed, and Freddy brought him back. But the look of his face is it's like it's like that. It's like an old, like a Tombstone character from DC. I mean, it's like that pale gray, rotten type skin color. And then of course he's got this. I don't know if you guys can see it. That was too close. They have this scar here, which to me was this, I don't know. It was maybe just a little bit too low, but at the end of part 3, he got a machete in his head, and that's how the movie ended. Over in the mask, and I used to have that figure, and I sold it, but I know it had the little, one of the masks had the cut there from the machete. So I mean that could be from that. But then he's got, they didn't keep that mask. He got all new ones in the movie. But so that could be that cut from there, which I'll pretend it is. I'll go with it. But then they should have done they could have been a little bit more grotesque with the eye. And then of course he's got that, I don't know, that growling. You can't really see any teeth as you would with the other figures. So maybe it's because he's just so decay, I guess. He still had a little bit of hair on the side, which in the movie it shows that little hair, and then it's got all these bumps and marks and stuff, maybe from like years of getting hit or killed or chopped or whatever. But yeah, and then the details of his whole getup, they did a really, really good job. Let me put some light up in here, see if I can light this up a little bit better. So, maybe close up a little bit. Yeah, the details on the shirt and the jacket are incredible. He did get a neck choking hand, which is great. I like these neck choke hands. And then, of course, the grip hands. And they don't get much hands. Neca doesn't really give you any hands. I think the only one that got the extra hands so far is the mom. The Pamela Voorhees figure that I unboxed not too recently. It's up on the channel if you want to check it out. But this is great. Now it's hard to choose, man. I was always been, out of all the movie franchises before this movie came out, before the remake came out, I always thought that Part 6 was like one of the better films. Kane Hodder, amazing. He's been an amazing Jason. That's when they started taking out Jason, making him more, supernatural zombie type killer. But his portrayal, the way that he slowed down, instead of running like he does in the other movies, just made it like more frightening. It was more scary. This Jason was even more slower, because when he first appears and he's walking down Elm Street, that was very iconic. That was a very silly done. That just, the slowness of his walk, like, it was incredible. I thought that was one of the best scenes as far as introducing Jason from the grave in the movie. And then the bedroom scene on his first kill was incredible. The way he chopped at that dude in bed, and then he just flipped him, and he just flipped the mattress, the bed, like it was a futon, and just bent that dude backwards. That was amazing. That pretty much set the tone. And again, the fight, the way they did the Freddy, crossover with him was like, I had no idea Jason could even sleep and dream, but, put him to sleep. I guess anybody will have a dream. But the sequence that they did in the boiler room was great, and then in Crystal Lake was great. The scenes were great between the two. So, I wish they could have done more with that particular story, but I mean, it still grows enough money, and it was like the #1 film for like 2 weeks in a row. So again, I was part of that. So I went to see it when it first came out, and I actually went really late at night. makes it all creepy when you're like in the movie theater past midnight watching horror movies. You should check it out. You should try it. It's actually an experience, because when you walk outside and it's only darkness, you tend to look around, make sure like nothing's gonna happen to you. But yeah, man, this particular figure, they nailed it. It's good. And again, like faceless Jasons, you can see the transition. Obviously, this is the remake, so I guess we'll go with that one there, because this one here looks more decay. But I mean, it's incredibly large. He looks more of a statue now. I mean, how tall is it? Man, if I could have has my tape measure. Man, I don't have it handy, but man, I'm pretty sure he's up there. He has to be at least 8 inches tall. He's taller than the other guy. So, man, this is exciting. I love it. I love it. I mean, again, I've been debating if I want to go back into collecting the rest of the other figures. Oh, no, I don't remember which one's which. I just took the mask off. Now I can't. Yep. All right. So this is his mask. Now I've been debating if I should start again and just get them all back for all time's sake. Maybe I should keep that one here. This one looks pretty cool. That one looks good. I like that one there. Yeah, the mask looks great. Anyway, debating if getting all of them. I know they're still out there. You can still find them at Target easily. I usually walk around, and that's usually what they have. I will definitely get Leatherface. I'm still looking for that one. They've had that green colored one, see-through, like, you know, glow dark. I'm not a fan of that one, but if I come across that reissued version, I will definitely pick it up, and I'll probably end up getting them again. I know the part 6 one is a little hard to get, the Jason, but I probably could find it at a good deal somehow. I'll wait. I'll definitely get it again. Again, a lot of the times I sold some of my collection was, you know, for financial needs. I need to pay some bills, and I was downsizing, and I decided to concentrate only on wrestling. And I've said that many times on my video, but, you know, now that I'm in a good place and I'm able to pick and choose what I want to collect and get, you know, my own collection and build it to my liking, I decided to get a couple of these, because, you know, being a huge fan, why not? You know, it's great figures, and Neca has done, I mean, they've killed it. Ever since they've had the rights to these figures, they've really killed it. And, you know, in this scale, I haven't seen anybody do a better job. I mean, you get the side-showed ones and stuff like that. I'm sure the statues and stuff, but when it comes to this, they've really done an outstanding job with the Jason, and this is incredible. And I'm glad I finally picked this up. They had been quite elusive for me because I had a hard time getting it before, but I just happened to get it at the right time, and it was up on Target, and I took it. I took advantage of it. Now I definitely got to get Freddy, because it will not be, you know, I can't leave him out. Michael Myers, Leatherface, definitely. Gonna get my hands on those three, and Pennywise. I had a couple Pennywises. I need to get my hands on them again. But man, another outstanding Jason, guys, and there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, subscribe, hit the notification there, and the like button. Tell me who is your favorite Jason. Which part was your favorite Friday the 13th movie, and what did you think of the Freddy versus Jason down below? And as always, thank you for your support. Continue to support each other. Continue to be a fine figure. And I will see you later.